We are live.
Okay, I want to start with a story. My first boxing fight was was in December 2021 at the end of a lockdown in Sydney. And my walkout song was Relaxed by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Now, many of you might recognize this track. Give me a thumbs up if you've heard this track before. Now, the story of this track is in 1984, the video was banned on Top of the Pops. It was the biggest music television show in the UK. The song was also banned on Radio 1 by one of the DJs because he didn't think it was the right moral values. What happened when public find out this song and the video were banned? Everybody went to the record store and bought the video, and it was number one for weeks and weeks and weeks. And Relaxed by Frankie Goes to Hollywood was a t-shirt. It was on an episode of Friends. But the brand Frankie Goes to Hollywood built all of this attention and built trust. Their second song was number one. And then Relaxed by Frankie Goes to Hollywood was then number two in the charts. And then they released the third single that year. And again, it went to number one. So there was all of this attention on one song and how it wasn't the right moral values, but the audience didn't listen. It built that trust. And that's the thing with the attention economy. Attracting attention, you build trust in your brand. The main chat with Alex, because he is the expert. I watched his masterclass on YouTube a couple of months ago, learned heaps from him, and I reached out to him on LinkedIn and we had a conversation. So Alex is a global expert in the attention economy. Now think about your business. Do you want to attract attention? Do you want to get customers buying from you? Do you want to land that next job? Do you want to land that promotion? Give me a big thumbs up if that's a yes for you. Anybody in the audience? Any thumbs up? That's the thing. In today's world, we need to attract attention. And the best way of doing that is through our message, through our content. So Alex, please introduce yourself, tell people what you do, and share your story with the audience.
Oh my God. Hello, everyone. So here's a funny story. Hi, I'm Alex Antolino. Super excited to be here. Here's a funny story. I was just trying to mute myself, and I don't know if these ever happened to you, where like you have like a Bluetooth mouse connected and like in a back somewhere, and then or like a keyboard, and then the laptop started going crazy. And then I was like, wait, what's going on? There's a ghost hacking my computer, and it was just myself like being unorganized. But well, hello everyone. I guess that's an introduction. I'm a creative director. I I worked for many years in tech, especially some of my work. My most popular work is known by being the creative director at Typeform. For like 8 years, I was working with them. I've also been brand advisor for Hotjar and many other tech companies. And most recently, I started kind of like repositioning myself and transitioning from the tech industry to the creators and creators brands, and working with creator brands and building brands on the creator economy, not just for creators when they launch their products, but also for products and tools for creators. So this is what we're doing now. This is where we are. Martin, thanks so much for having me.
You're welcome. We're going to have a bit of a chat with you, and then we'll get Roy and Jan to share their insights. So this morning, I was up at 6 a.m., had a meeting about the next World Gay Boxing Championships in Chicago. ABC Chicago have promised to do a story in the lead up to the championships and at the event. I've had coverage from CNN, The Guardian, by putting myself out there, and I've built the trust in my personal brand to lead change in boxing. You learn that on my LinkedIn course. First of all, it's a bit uncomfortable for me, but I wanted to lead the change. And the best way of doing that was attracting the right attention. And that's so important in today's world. Attention, trust. We have so much short time. Think about maybe a YouTube video you watch time and time again because you like the creator. That creator, they're getting their revenue from the advertising, from selling their products or services, because we've built trust with them. That's what I teach you on my course. That's what I've done with the boxing championships. To learn more about this, I jumped on a call with Alex. I wanted to learn from Alex how he does this. So, Alex, maybe you can share a few tips to people about how to attract attention in the new way of working that we have right now with the creator economy.
I think so. We're asking about attention and how attention is generated. So I feel like the first thing to understand is that attention is a limited resource. Okay, there's so many eyeballs in the world, and there's so many people, and it's not like unlimited. So the more people try to buy attention through advertisement, that's what brands do for them. For the most part, they pay money to get attention and get eyeballs, right? And so I think what we need to understand is that because it's limited, the more people try to buy attention for their business online, for example, the more expensive that's going to be. So there's a different way with the algorithms that we have today of TikTok and discovery-based algorithms that are implemented also in like Reels on Instagram or Shorts on YouTube. Those algorithms are designed to expose your content to people who don't know you yet. The only thing that these algorithms want is for your content to be engaging, to keep you watching. So this is a different way to get attention. Now, in my mind, as a brand or as a person trying to build your personal brand, the most interesting thing is to try to find ways to learn how to keep that retention on the content so you can get the algorithm to distribute your content, if that makes sense. So you can get that attention for free. That's how I think about attention. It's just people, it's a resource, and attention can do these different things, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. So LinkedIn, the algorithm changed in June this year, prioritizing content grounded in knowledge and advice. LinkedIn, this digital marketplace where you want to sell to marketing teams, prioritize your content for marketing. If you want to sell your content, so if you want to sell your products to an engineering team in an organization, you prioritize your content and build relationships around engineering. Roy, I'm going to move to you because you've changed your message quite recently about selling your promotional products. Now, this was a slight change for you. What have you learned about attention and how you've built trust with your brand that's worked well for you?
Thanks so much, Martin. I've started to question, where am I positioning myself? How important is my message? And I almost had like a light bulb moment about 2 weeks ago when I came to the realization that what I actually do is I help companies bring visibility and brand awareness to their brands and their businesses. So I've kind of repositioned myself. But I have to, refer back to what Alex said, is that the only way that you can attract attention and build this trust, number one, is to show up consistently. Number two is to make sure that your message that you're conveying is as clear as possible. If there's any area of doubt in your message, people don't understand.
One of the things that I've been able to build with WGBC, my personal brand, is trust. A question I'm often asked in an interview is, who is my inspiration? Without doubt, it's Muhammad Ali. I talk about the change he achieved outside of the ring. A few years ago, I was interviewed by BBC Sport, and the article appeared on the BBC Boxing webpage. For about a day, there was a story about me, and there was a story about Muhammad Ali. There was also a story about Anthony Joshua, who at the time was the world heavyweight boxing champion. So there's a world heavyweight boxing champion, the greatest, and Martin Stark. That's my claim to fame. That's always the one thing I'm always going to hold close to my heart as a boxer. But I was able to use that to build trust, to get more attention, to get more relationships. From that interview, other stories came my way. That's the thing with attracting attention. My number one tip is just having a bold and simple message, considering your audience and delivering value day after day after day. Now, Jan, you talk about intent before content. Can you explain that briefly?
Thank you, partner Martin. And nice to meet you, Alex. I'm a fan. Love your message. Love what you do. So I always say this: intent comes before content. What it means is that you need, before anything else, before creating something, before making something, you need to have a solid foundation of why you do the things that you do. That will be the driving force for you to push forward. Your intent, it will always be the core, the starting point of everything you do. If you don't have it solid, grounded, focused, then whatever that you create will miss the mark. May it be audio, in the podcasting world, creative content, and in our topic, attract attention and build trust. That will be a big disconnection because your foundation is not solid. So intent comes before content. Back to you, partner. Love you.
Cheers, Jan. Alex, what tips would you have for somebody who was maybe starting out or wanted to kind of increase the attention they're getting a message?
First of all, hey, Roy and Dan, nice to be in the chat here with you, and hello to everyone joining here on the session. Tips for getting attention. I think I just want to echo what I was saying a minute ago about being clear. I see attention as like a funnel, right? So if with discovery-based algorithms, what's going to happen today, if you make short form video, for example, is that whatever you put out, it's like the algorithms are designed to show it to people who don't follow you yet. I think that's realized is that we're not in the era of social media anymore. It's funny that I'm saying this on LinkedIn, which is probably one of the most interesting social media platforms at the moment because it distributes content based on who you know, right? So you'll see your friends commenting on someone's post, and then you get to know that person. So it's all based on social graphs. But besides this, TikTok is not a social media platform. They actually describe themselves as an entertainment platform. And why is this important? Is because you can create an account on TikTok and not be followed by anyone and not follow anyone and build a network and get free distribution of your content. And so this is a fundamental change from social media to the era that we are right now, that is discovery-based algorithms. And the difference is that before, because you were connected to your network, you could be a bit more specific or niche or more technical in your message that people would more or less understand what you're talking about, right? Right now, if you want to get the hundreds of thousands of views that are possible and millions of views are possible for new accounts, you need to understand that you need to speak very clearly and in very general terms for anyone to understand your message. And so that's how I think about attention. For brands starting out, use short form content because I had 79 followers on TikTok, made a TikTok that took me an hour to make, and this video has now 3 million. This is the opportunity.
Wow. You see that 3 million views. What's been the output of that in terms of the relationships and the trust from that one video?
That's a good question. So that video specifically got me 3 million views and got me 5,000 followers. So from a trust perspective, when people look at my TikTok, I think because we come from this era of social graphs, the follower count still means something. It wouldn't mean that much if we had not gone through that stage. 100,000 followers, 1 million followers before. You needed to be really, really popular. You know what I mean? Like you needed to have a super solid network or be relevant for whatever reason. Right now, this is not necessarily like that. So maybe you've heard before, followers don't matter anymore. And I think that's the reason why people say that. But for me, from like a business perspective, that video that I did brought some people to my TikTok channel that are interested, and a lot of people that are irrelevant. And that was just a viral video. Like when you get a viral video, you get all sorts of people. But at least they gave me this perceived when it looks at my account, and I don't have 200 followers, I have 5,000. So that's a byproduct of that video going viral. But for example, one of the brands that I've worked with, that I have on my live cohort, because I train people to do that, train brands to do this. So we were just having a session last Monday, and she made one video. She usually averages 1.5 thousand views on Reels, and because she was able to use story very well, storytelling, sorry. So she got like or I think she's like up 7,000 views on her brand, and that one single video sold out on all of her stock. So she sold 200 units just with one video. So I think that is the power of, if you're able to leverage story and connect it, this stuff actually converts, unlike a lot of people think.
This kind of leads me, if anybody in the audience wants to come on stage and ask a question, would love to have you on stage, just raise your hand. And this really leads me to the other point, which is about building trust in you. And I take you through this in my course, because my success formula is your message and your content equals your relationships, opportunities, and networks. I watched Alex's masterclass on YouTube. I reached out to Alex. We built a rapport. We had a one-on-one catch-up. Alex kindly agreed to come on this audio room, which we're going to be recording, we'll be releasing in a few weeks' time, because that's how we learn. We may have other opportunities to work with each other. We're now partnering together. If you see my videos, a very different style. Jan's team do those videos. That's the beauty of those opportunities. I met somebody last night in Sydney from the UK. We both run LGBTQ organizations. He's writing a book. He wants expertise on LGBTQ plus sport. I'm featured in his book. That's the thing about building trust in you, by having that simple message and communicating that consistently. When I think about organizational design, I think of Ali. We had a catch up a few weeks ago. We were in somebody's LinkedIn live session, virtual webinar, and we had a conversation. Through that, we can help each other with our and building that trust in you. I won't refer anybody who I don't trust. But when somebody asks me, hey, do you know somebody who does X, Y, and Z? I have people in my network who I can refer to. So Jan, question for you about building trust through video. What's the best way of doing that?
First is, you really need to reach out to your community, your tribe, because you can only make, powerful content that really attracts, that really connects, and really makes a difference if you understand how your tribe reacts, how your tribe consumes your content, what is the likes or dislikes. Those really makes a difference. You go back to when you really like a girl or really like, this person. You don't just, give a lot of things and hope that that person will notice you, right? That way, that might work, but you lose a lot of time and money. But you really do some research. What makes this person really engaging? What does that person likes? Is she into comics, books, food, things like that? And then you hone in on that. You craft that according to your intent, your brand style, your vibe, and then you release it online. And, that's where the magic starts. It's not going to happen at the moment, that quick. But, as you move forward, snowball effect. Back to you, partner.
So, audience, big round of applause for anybody who tomorrow is going to do something that they've learned from this audio room today. They've had one piece of advice. There's an insight that they've learned something from. Give me a big thumbs up. Give me a round of applause if you learned something. You're going to take something from today that you're going to apply tomorrow or the day after. Big thumbs up from Ali, big thumbs up from Martha. That's the thing and a big thumbs up from Gurpreet. That's the thing with the attention. You need to do something. It needs to be intentional. Big thumbs up from Eric, and you build trust. Gurpreet, thanks for joining us on stage. Please ask a question or share insight. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for hosting this, and thank you for pronouncing my name correctly. Sometimes majority of people can't pronounce it correctly. I don't have insights to share. I do have a question. Somebody was talking about TikTok. I was multitasking, not gonna lie. So I don't know who was sharing that. It's a platform that I'm actually trying to get on. I've mastered LinkedIn, so I'm good with LinkedIn. And what I do have an interest is TikTok. Would a really long time to get on. Now that I'm on it, I would like. I know somebody shared this, so my question is, like, how do you create a video for TikTok and what to create?
Good.
Guys, videos, and I'm using a system to do it, but it's just I don't know, I'm lost.
Okay, well, Alex is the expert. Alex, please share.
All right. Hey, perfect. So nice to meet you. When you say you're lost, are you lost on the tech? So how to record and all of that?
No,
Or are you lost on what the story, the script, what the idea would be?
the story more like, okay, so I have a lot of videos just simply because I basically been doing LinkedIn Live since 2019. So I have a lot of content on video. Um, and someone told me that gave me a good idea that I can use this system, this tool online where I can create short bite-sized video, take that long format and it'll create it. Actually, one of my coaches told me that. So I've been recently doing that, but I haven't done a lot with it. But like, how do I, like, what videos to post? Like, I'm looking at other people's stuff, and some people do duets. Some people are doing creating.
So if you make this question really short, so Alex can give his response for
What's the simplest, easy way to start?
Okay, so the simplest, easy way to start is to map out what are the themes that you want to put out, right? So I usually encourage people to identify 3 or 4 themes that they want to be known for like their thought leadership. So since you've been doing great on LinkedIn, you probably have like 3 or 4 themes that you usually talk about for whatever that your expertise might be. So what I would say is just write these down, and then for these themes, put like 2 or 3 topics each. So you would end up with, let's say, 9 topics that you can talk about that gives you some flexibility, but it's not overwhelming. It's like, I don't know what to do. This will give you some constraint, at least at the beginning. And we know with constraints, we usually create better. So with these 3 themes, 3 verticals, if you will, and then 3 topics per each, you will end up with like 9 different things you can talk about. And that's diverse enough for your people to be, like for your audience and potential audience to be engaged and learn different things from you. Now, the next step would be to test different ideas and different narratives. What does that mean? I teach a lot of people to tweet with video. Let's see what that means. So usually, we come from social, like I was saying before, social graphs, and we come from this idea and this world where video was a scarce resource. Okay, video was really hard. Like, it was hard to make. You needed a lot of equipment. You needed people. Like, it was not something you could put out on a daily basis. Now, TikTok changed that. The pandemic changed that because we were all at home. So kind of like the lo-fi video from our phones became acceptable because there was nothing else we could do during the lockdowns. So that changed how lo-fi video from your phone is easily accepted, and especially like also if it comes from brands. And this generated this whole UGC type of content trend. Okay, so why am I talking about all of this? Because before, we have this idea of like creating a pillar piece of content, chopping it up and repurposing the shit out of it. And so that was like Gary Vee type model where like you create a podcast episode that's like 1 hour long, you chop it up, chop, and then you have like 10 or 72 pieces of content per week. Now, I believe this still works, but we're getting saturated of repurposed content, I feel. And so TikTok gives you this opportunity to be very spontaneous. Just pick up your camera on your phone and just put out an idea. And so I kind of like started implementing the opposite. thing where like when I have an idea or a thought, I'll just record myself on camera and just put it out. And then you could do this like on daily basis, put one video out. If it fails, if you don't like it, but if it does well, now you have a validated idea or a validated piece of content. And then you can expand it to a longer one or produce it better. And then maybe make a longer piece of content or a blog article or a YouTube channel. So the masterclass that Matt Buckton says that he watched from me, it was a video that I did for an hour and a half with Chris Do at the Future. That masterclass actually came from a talk, 40-minute talk that I gave at conference. That 40-minute talk actually came from 3 posts that I made on YouTube, 3 videos that I then merged together. And then those videos came from 1 post that I made on LinkedIn that did way better than my other posts. It could have started on TikTok. So I think I encourage every brand to take the opposite approach and take the product approach. Start with volume. Don't worry about it being perfect or being good. If you can put out 10 pieces of video, 1 every day, and just video recorded with your phone, you realize that one does 10x better than the rest, just then double down on that and expand and build on that versus trying to create like 1 hour piece and chop it down, if that makes sense. Because the risk is way less.
Alex, that works really well on LinkedIn because approximately 10% of your followers and network will see one of your posts if they join LinkedIn, if they log on to LinkedIn that day. So I say if you do 10 quality posts over 10 days, you have the opportunity of reaching 100% of your followers, plus all of their followers and connections, because if they like, it will appear in the feed. So it's always like the quality and the consistency. So we're a couple of minutes over. So I'm going to ask Alex to share thoughts, Jan to share a thought, and I'll close the room. And a big thank you to everybody in the audience. A big thank you to my co-host. A big thank you to Alex for joining us today. And a big thank you to Kirby for asking the question. So Jan, close the thought, please.
Thank you. I would rather ask a question because
Okay.
we have Alex here, our special guest. So Alex, I love the learnings that you shared about creating content, focusing on attention. I'm looking at your TikTok. So I'm a fanboy here. So you have 1 clip that made massive hits. For all the viewers that are here with us today, please check out Alex's TikTok account. You will see it's pinned up top, 2.3 million and counting. So let's focus on that, Alex. What can you say made this video powerful? Aside from your good looks, but what was the magic that is happening that made hits up to 2.3 and counting? The floor is yours, my friend.
So I would encourage also people to check my Instagram. It's at Angelino, because I post most stuff there. There's 2 videos that went viral. I have 2 viral videos. One is the one that you're talking about that it's been on top. It's 2.3 million views right now. The reason, I'm going to try to make this really short because I know we're over time. But the reason why this video went viral is because I only speak in it for 5 seconds of the 40 seconds that the video lasts. And the other 35 seconds is actually one of the Kardashians who is speaking on that video. If there's a lesson we can learn from that, is to encourage everyone to understand content is not about yourself, your brand, your products, because nobody cares about that, especially people who don't know you yet, which is the people you're trying to reach when you're trying to grow. So the reason why most brands do really bad at content is because they made it about themselves. And like that makes absolute no sense in a strategy where you're trying to reach people who don't know you yet so you grow. Very obvious, but it's what it is. And so the other video that went viral for me, it's kind of like the same story. It's even a more interesting story. I don't have time to go over that video today, but it has 700,000 views. And if you look at the other TikToks, they all have like 400 views, 300 views. So this is like a huge, significant spike on performance. And the reason why that other video went viral is because of the structure and the script and the storytelling in it. And it has nothing to do with me, and it has everything to do with mainstream culture. And this goes back to what I was saying before. And I guess, Martin, this can also be my final thought. It's like, if you wanna grow your brand, you need to understand that you need to be appealing to every single human on earth, because you do have the opportunity to do this for free right now. It doesn't matter if you're selling cars, perfume, services, if you're a designer or a coach, I don't care. If you make a piece of content that's appealing, universally appealing, from those hundreds of thousands of views, I can guarantee you'll get more relevant ICP, ideal customer profiles in that like chunk of people than if you keep posting your stuff about your niche. It's easier to break through when you do it this way. So I encourage every small brand or brand trying to like is on the trenches right now, trying to like grow and like expand their circle, to use the only tool that will help you connect with humans who don't know you, don't care about you yet. And that tool is storytelling. It's that simple. So the best thing you can do, attention. And from those views, you'll get a lot of customers. I see it every day. That's my final thought.
Cheers, Alex. So just captivated listening to you. That storytelling. When I think about boxers in my industry, the stories about the boxers, all the stuff about Tyson Fury outside of the ring. That's why he's so popular with the fan base over other world heavyweight champion boxers. It's all about the customer. It's all about the know, like, and trust. When you create the right attention and they build trust in you through your story, that's how you're going to enhance your influence on LinkedIn and other platforms. If you want to know how to do this well on LinkedIn, check out my course. Look at my profile. To Jan, to Alex, thank you very much. To Roy, who had to dash off, thank you very much. To everyone in the audience, thanks for listening. And join us next time on the Courage Corner, where we're going to be talking about the right hook, which is my best boxing move. Thanks, everybody.